There is something undeniably calming and peaceful about rainy days. The world seems to slow down, inviting us to do the same. Our home feels like the safest, coziest place, and it's a perfect time to brew a cup of tea and simply enjoy the moment, perhaps reading or just watching the rain fall. This time of the year is usually quite moody in the English countryside. Sunny days that feel like summer, mixed with moody, gloomy days, and I've learned to go with the flow and enjoy both kinds of weather. The rain won't stop me from going out for a walk. Quite the opposite. I love summer storms in the forest. The warm, earthy smell of the woods is one of the most beautiful scents I know. Nature is becoming more abundant each day. The forest is full of life and beautiful birdsong. We're getting close to Summer Solstice, also known as Litha in the pagan world. Midsummer is when the sun reaches its peak. It's the longest day and the shortest night of the year. At this time, the seeds have already been sown and growth is rapidly progressing, with the first harvest of the year happening at the beginning of August. This is the time to go out and admire Mother Nature, eat seasonal, locally grown food, and celebrate the long, warm days ahead of us. In this spirit, I am going to bake a sponge cake with fresh berries and cream. I will share the recipe in the video description. Summer and winter solstice always makes me think about the beautiful story of the Oak King and the Holly King. I've learned this story many years ago when I first started my slow living journey. Living in tune with nature is an inherent part of mindful living. I love pagan stories about the seasons as they often carry a lot of wisdom about humans and our true nature. The story goes that each summer solstice, Oak King, who is personification of summer, warmth and growth, battles the Holly King, who represents winter, darkness, cold and ultimately death. Our two kings fight each summer solstice, and the Holy King, the ruler of winter, conquers the Oak King. From this day onwards, his strength slowly grows, while the strength of Oak King and the sun wanes. The nights get longer and Holy King rules until the winter solstice, when the table turns. The Oak King, who represents the sun and growth, wins, and from then onwards the days get longer and hope is restored in people's hearts. The two kings are locked in an everlasting battle. Some people say that both kings are brothers, but I like to interpret them as two sides of human nature. Both are necessary, just like we need both light and darkness, summer and winter, growth and rest. This story represents a beautiful tale of the duality of human nature and the need for balance in the natural world. You know, I have never enough of the Cotswolds and its dreamy rolling hills. We visited our favorite farm shop for late breakfast, and I was lucky enough to pet a cute little lamb. The baby was sleepy and rather bored, so it let me stroke its head for a little bit. What a lovely encounter. I adore farm animals. I wish I could have a little flock of sheep one day. The day was lovely and warm, with only a delicate tingle of cold in the wind that announced the arrival of rain and thunder that afternoon. As we walked in the quiet, sleepy village in the heart of Cotswolds, the clouds started to gather above our heads, and there was this unmistakable atmosphere of anticipation before the storm. Going back to my cake, I'm going to cover the bottom part in a thick layer of whipped cream and place as many fresh strawberries and berries as I can. The contrast between sweet sponge cake, delicate cream, and sour fruits will create the perfect balance. All my sponge cakes are always wonky. I swear I have never baked a sponge cake that was even. But it really doesn't matter as my family loves them and I think they taste decent too. To make the cream, simply whip full-fat soft cheese with a cup of heavy full-fat cream and a pinch of salt. You can add as much sugar as you like, but I recommend less than more. I think the sponge cake is sweet enough and the cream should taste like cream. Otherwise, the cake will be too sweet and not balanced. The moments before the storm are magical. I loved our time in the village and St. James churchyard. The storm was coming, the air was heavy, and the freshly cut grass scent filled the air. I had this thought, what if these walls could talk? St. James Church is 800 years old, and despite being situated in the peaceful and unspoiled rural location, I'm sure it would have endless stories to tell. The scent of freshly cut grass brings me back to memories of childhood and carefree summers. Many lose this sense of freedom and the ability to experience joy in simple pleasures, but I think I've managed to retain it pretty well. Although I had to teach myself to mindfully slow down, to actually notice the things that are already present in my life, instead of constantly reaching out for more and never being satisfied. Just like the story of the Oak King and the Holly King, we should embrace the different parts of our personalities. It's okay to have goals and work towards our dreams, just like I do with my shop, but it's important not to lose sight of the simple good things that are already present in our everyday life. I am endlessly grateful to be sharing these little simple joys of my life with you. Thank you for 100,000 subscribers.
Sorry.
Are you okay?